I remember, I think when I began to like really realize that, man, like everyone's just full of cat, bro. Like there's a point to where like when I was in prison, of course, like maturing, growing as a man, discovering my identity in Christ, the Lord transforming my life. I didn't even want to hear about these dumb war stories anyway. So of course I gotta respect whenever you build relationships with people, or sometimes you're just kicking it with the homies and they're not like living a Christian lifestyle or whatever. So like they're just like telling war stories and all these crazy stories they had and experiences they had from the street. So of course I gotta listen, you know what I mean, out of respect or whatever. Sometimes I laugh if it's funny, but for the most part, it's like, man, I don't even want to hear these dumb war stories. Number one, because it doesn't like interest me. It doesn't make me like think that you're some high and mighty, and like I don't even care. So I just like try to just walk away from those conversations or try to navigate my way out of them, because I got no interest whatsoever in the war stories or in the cap that the majority of people be, talking. But I remember when I first began to really notice, like, everybody lies, everybody like, yo, be all you can be, bro. Like, yeah, of course, man. Like, bro had like a whole trunk full of bricks, you know what I mean? And he had like 20 women in the car with him. Like, bro, be all you can be, man. Keep capping. I used to make up the scenario and joke about how, like, in prison, because everybody lies, like, yo, whenever I get transferred from prison to prison, I'm just gonna make up a whole new identity. You know what I mean? Like in prison, a lot of people call me EI. Obviously, it's my rap name, EI. Some people from the street know me as Testa or Steve or Steven or whatever, but most people call me EI. But I would joke like, yo, I'm just gonna go to a new prison and I'm just gonna start over brand new, which is not possible. We'll talk about that in a future episode, because your face and the chain gang, like, that's your past, bro. That will follow you everywhere. So if you dirty up your face, bro, you ain't gonna be no good anywhere. A lot of people try to, do some creep stuff at other camps, you know what I mean? Snitch or rob or junkie stun or check in, but it follows you because it's a small world in the chain gang. But that's another story for another time. But I used to joke about like going to a new prison and like making up a whole new identity. Like I go to a new prison, but like, yo, man, like, yo, they call me Death Face. Death Face. I got bodies. This, me and my dogs be clowning, joking, making up scenarios. Or I tell somebody like, yeah, man, I used to be a veterinarian on the street. You know what I mean? FDLE ran down on me because I ain't have my license. I was doing illegal procedures on dogs out my garage. That's why I'm in prison. Or just jokingly telling people like, yo, listen, man, like, I'm a poacher. I still see turtle eggs, and the feds, they ran down on me. They ain't pick up my case. They took it, and that's why I'm in prison right now. So I used to joke about the fact that the majority of people in prison, bro, like when it comes to telling the truth about their lives, their past, and the way that they lived, like in society, man, a lot of people be lying, bro, just because they want to. I think the underlying, we're all guilty of lying, of course. I've told my fair share of lies, but I think just the predominant man, the social status bar in street culture, or like amongst convicts, or just maybe like some immature people in society, man, like everyone's trying to outdo somebody else, or everyone's looking for other people's approval. So of course in prison you don't have proof of these things. All you really got is your word and like the way that you conduct yourself, your respect. So when it comes to like their referencing of themselves, of how they live, oh, they gon' bull it up. You know what I mean? They gonna say anything, make themselves seem like they was, that dude, on the street. Yo, in prison, you have nothing.